City, your biggest winners over in League One as they go back top of the table. But of course, what's going to happen this next round of matches as we edge closer to the weekend? We'll take a little look at it next. Giving another prediction show. I don't know what match day we're on, but anyway, we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, and hit the old subscribe button to get your bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, League One related. Whoa, football, whatever we're going to do here. On the Roverseas, of course. Yes, games just all over the place, and of course, COVID, waterlogged pitches, all that kind of stuff, causing all kind of chaos out in League One. Of course, for trying to keep up the date with what's going on out in League One is a very, very much tricky sort of beast. But anyway, we'll talk about the latest round of matches and of course your picks in just a second. If you are new, of course, smash your subscribe. And also a big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are, the VIP gang behind the scenes. So thank you to them. And if anyone else is out there that is interested in becoming the latest member of the Patreon gang, there is a link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. So let's jump into it and take a look at how we all got on last afternoon. And then shall we kick it all off with, of course, a recap of those results. Of course, kicking on back, of course, on Peterborough. They took care of business against Charlton 2-1 in the end. Actually, I went the 3-2 win myself. My picks on the left, the real deal was on the right. Goals galore on the day. Sammy Simon, a bit Schmidt to get the goals for himself. Kind of Washington get the goal for Charlton, as it looks like their playoff chasing run is in a bit of question at the moment. They're still in sixth spot at the moment, but of course it is getting very, very nitty-gritty in the middle of the pack there. Kicking off further though, Lincoln City against Gillingham. That was postponed, so we'll have to wait on that one. Actually, the 2-0 win for Lincoln, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Hull, though, go back to winning ways, of course, over Accrington Stanley with a 3-0 win at the end. I actually went with a 2-2 draw myself. Malik Wicks, Gavin White on his debut, I believe, and Josh McGuinness on the score sheet for Hull. Karen Burgess got himself sent off for Accrington Stanley. Of course, they've hit a bit of a wobble at the moment, of course, looking to probably going back down the table now into top spot. As Hull go top of the pops, boys. Meanwhile, Blackpool against Northampton Town ended up as a postponement again. Have to wait on that one, actually, when they want to win for Blackpool, but we'll have to wait and see. Crewe, though, 5-goal thriller between themselves and Bristol Rovers. Through a Crewe coming out on top with a 3-2 win. Charlie Kirk, Ryan Whittle, Oliver Lancashire, of course, Max Ema, Luke McCormick on the score sheet as well for Bristol Rovers as they suffered a defeat. Actually, with a 2-1 win in the end for Crewe, not too shabby. Doncaster, though, probably the form team at the moment, or one of them anyway. Just won a few the past 6 games. They came out on top with a 1-0 win over Rochdale. Of course, we've got scoring goals for fun in recent time. John Taylor with a 1-0 goal for Doncaster Rovers as they won. Actually, with a 3-1 win myself. Not too shabby. MK Dons took care of business against Fleetwood Town as well. It was the battle of the Rovers keepers on this one. I think, actually, ex-Rovers, Andrew Fisher, no longer between the sticks, and young Joe Hilton for Fleetwood Town. But the goal scorers, or the big winners, of course, was MK Dons with Joe Mason with a hat-trick. Sam Finney getting a consolation goal for Fleetwood Town. Too little, too late, though. Actually, with a 0-0 draw myself, not too bad. Pretty bad, actually. Portsmouth, big winners for them, of course, over Wimbledon. John Marquis, Ryan Williams, Sean Raggett, and Ben Close on the score sheet of Portsmouth as they won 4-0, actually, with a 2-0 win. You get that pick and you double it, and that's where you're at, of course. And wrapping up, big winners, of course. Plymouth away from home, 2-1 winners over Sunderland. Adam Lewis and Joe Edwards on the score sheet for Plymouth. Aidan O'Brien on the score sheet for Sunderland. Again, too little, too late. It just goes to show that it's not a walkover for Lee Johnson and co. Actually, remember the 3-0 win for Sunderland, and I did pretty poop. As you see, I got myself 4 out of 7, which is okay, but not brilliant. Of course, Hull lead the charge, of course, on goal difference at the moment. Lincoln City are in second, Portsmouth up to third, Doncaster, Peterborough and Charlton make up your top 6. Swindon, Burton, Wigan, Wimbledon going down as it stands, of course. Are we over the halfway mark? I don't really know, to be honest with you. We could be on over the halfway mark, but still, I think a lot of games to be decided just yet. And I'm getting, as the season goes on, it might get to that same predicament we were in last time out, that it might not get concluded. So the points per game ratio might come into effect here. Because if you just look at this, just look at the table. We've got Burton, who have played 24 games. And then you look at Accrington Stanley, played 19 games. That's 5 games difference. And in between all that, you've got a whole mixture of stuff. And that just goes to show that we are technically, I think, heading into match number 25. But only Burton are the team. One team that has played 24 matches. But anyway, kick it off further and take a look at the prediction league. 0-2, Shitface Gang. 3-5, Straight-Face Club. And 6+, you're in the top bins. Cody Go, not too shabby. Lambie did bits. Alan MC did poop. James B. CFC are great. They are great, are they? But of course, you did great as well. F. Mogger, not too bad. Jacobs, Posh, Vlogs also did good. Jonathan Sandman did bits. Leeds 2021 also did good. Ojo, he did alright. Of course, Russell Frost also did very, very well. Shepherd kicked ass and took some names, as did Tom Stainer. Well done, well done, well done. Of course, kicking further. Okay, did okay. STFC, Jenko, not too shabby. Jacob Jackerson also did very, very well. Ivan Stringer did bits. Ultra Omamia, well done to you, of course. Omar Escoville also did very, very well. Vincent Hong also did good. Nathan Even, not too shabby. Furious 77 also did good. Yannick Buster did bits. And Jamie Gold had a shocker. Gaming Charlie, have I seen you twice? You did okay. Kicking off further, let's take a look at the table. If your name's Alan MC or Jamie Gold, just don't look at it now. Just don't look at it. But if your name is OK, SCSC, Jenko, Russell Frost, Lambie, F. Mogger, or Gaming Charlie, take a bloody bow. Take a bloody bow. We've got a 5-way leaderboard kingpin this week with all those, the respective kings for the respective regions of the old leaderboard, of course. How about the overall leaderboard? Let's take a bloody look at it then, shall we? Of course, the kingpin sitting at the top of the charts is Russell Frost. Look at that. Look at him. Absolutely criminal. That's right. Of course, he did top bins there this week. Of course, they are the patrons, sitting pretty indeed. Of course, SCSC, Jenko, not too far away either. Yoki Jackson, Gaby Charlie and Jonathan Sandham make up the chasing pack. But of course, there's no change this match week, of course, as we get close to a full fixture list. But guess what? It's not a full fixture list. But anyway, we're going to get into the deep end, of course, take a look at these matches. Kicking on off with a postponement. We'll talk about it anyway. It's MK Dons taking on, of course, Plymouth. According to my brain, they've played each other a whole bunch of times, but they're not going to play this one. But if they were, this would be the 17th time, 10th time they played each other. 2 wins for MK Dons, 6 wins for Plymouth, and 1 draw, of course, heading into this. Where are they? Of course, MK Dons sitting in 15th spot. Just 1 defeat the past 4 games. Of course, Plymouth coming into this in 11th spot, just 1 defeat the past 6. Of course, and a win for them. Plymouth in 11th. They could actually go as high as 9th. MK Dons in 15th. They could go as high as 11th themselves in the table. But it's not going to go ahead. So we're going to kind of sidetrack this one with a blank. I did not even put the prediction in that bad boy. Kicking on further though, we have Blackpool up against Accrington. Stanley, who are they? And I believe this game is also postponed. That's right. We'll talk about it anyway, just again like the other one, and have a little bit of a concept. They played each other 8 times. The past 1 win for Blackpool, 2 for Accrington, Stanley, and 5 draws. Of course, heading into this one, what do we have on this one? Actually in 10th spot at the moment, but doing for them, they would have actually gone up to 6th. As for Blackpool, they're down 16th at the moment, but doing for them, they could also have gone high as 11th. Blackpool coming into this, just 1 win in the past 6. On the flip side, who are we talking about? We're talking about Accrington. For them, just 1 win in the past 4 against back-to-back defeats for them. I did go with a pick on this one with a 2-1 win for Blackpool, but again, I believe this game is not going to go ahead. So kicking on further though, let's take a little look at Charlton up against Swindon. Now this match will go ahead, of course. Charlton on a bit of a wobble at the moment. Swindon, I think they're a little bit too far gone at the moment. But anyway, they played each other in the past 39 times, 19 wins for Charlton, 10 wins for Swindon, and 10 draws. But the last 6 sees 3 for Charlton, 2 for Swindon, and 1 bloody draw. Last time out in Charlton, a 3-0 win for Charlton's down in the Valley. Of course, April 2017, Josh McGuinness on Scotia, Jake Foster-Caskey, and Ricky Holmes giving Charlton the 3-0 win. They've also played this season over in Swindon. It was a 2-2 draw back in Swindon. D. Lang, Giles Measy, and Brett Pittman on the score sheet for Swindon. Omar Bogan and Chuck Zaniki on the score sheet for Charlton. Heading into this, though, Swindon have actually conceded at least 2 goals in 9 last 10 away matches. Charlton have actually conceded at least 2 goals in 7 last 8. They come into this just 1 win in the past 6. That is for Charlton. That 1 was against Bristol Rovers. On the flip side, Swindon won 1 win in the past 6 as well. That 1 win was against Ipswich in a 5-goal thriller. Look at the situation out of the bookies on this one. We have 5-4 on for Charlton. 30-5 is your 7-2 is your Swindon. Swindon are in. Where are they in the moment? At the moment, they're down into 23rd spot, but for them, they could actually go as high as 18th. Charlton actually in 6th, and for them, they could actually go as high as 4th in the bloody league. They need a win. They'll get the win. It'll be a 2-0 win in the end. Kicking off further, though, Crewe up against AFC Wimbledon. Wimbledon to you and me. They played each other in the past. Good in my brain 3 times. 2 wins for Crewe, 1 draw, and nothing for Wimbledon, of course. Last time out in Crewe was a 3-3 draw back in February 2012. It was in League 2. Goal scorers Brian Moore, Nick Powell, Gregory Pearson. That was a 3-3 draw, sorry. Billy Knott, or Not to You and Me, Sammy Moore, and Christian Jolly as well on the score sheet. Heading into this, Wimbledon actually lost their last 5 matches in League 1. Crewe have actually won 5 of the last 6 matches at home. Wimbledon conceded at least 2 goals in the last 5. They also played early in the season in Wimbledon. There was a 2-1 win for Crewe. That was back in December. Heading into this, Crewe unbeaten in the last 5 games, picked up 2 wins and 3 draws to boot. Just 1 win in the past 5 games for Wimbledon. That was, of course, in the Papa John's Trophy. 4 defeats and the spin out in League 1. Let's take a closer look at the bookies on this one then, shall we? Crewe actually 4-3 on for the victory. 11-4 is your draw. 10-3 is your Wimbledon. Of course, Wimbledon coming into this in the relegation spots, but with them they could actually go as high as 17th in the table. Crewe are in 7th, and with them they could go as high as 6th. That's playoffs, boys. I think Crewe will get this one with a 3-1 win in the end, with, of course, Harry Picken wearing the captain's armour. Kicking it further, though, Doncaster are supposed to be playing Burton, but I don't think this one's going to go ahead anyway, of course. But they played each other in the past, just I'll let you know how many times they played each other. 10 times, 4 wins for Doncaster, 1 win for Burton, and 5 bloody draws. Of course, heading into this match, if it was to go ahead, which I don't think it will, Doncaster coming into this just one defeat the past 6 games, and the rest of them have been wins. Burton coming into this just 1 win the past 6 games. Of course, Jimmy Floyd at the helm. A win for Burton would have been close in on maybe 23rd spot, and a win for Doncaster could have seen them go as high as top of the bloody pops. That's how tight it is. And just to confirm, I do not see it on the books here, so it's not going to go ahead. But I would have went with a 2-0 win for Doncaster in the end. Kicking off further, Gillingham up against Rochdale. Of course, 2 teams that could do with a win to get themselves back into contention of at least climbing the table. Played each other 23 times past, 9 wins for Gillingham, 6 wins for Rochdale, and 8 bloody draws. But the last 6, these 3 wins for Gillingham, 1 win for Rochdale, and 2 draws. They played each other in Gillingham back in 2019. It was a 1-0 win for Gillingham. That was, of course, in December. Connor Ogilvie on the score sheet with MJ Williams got himself sent off. They also played each other in Rochdale earlier in the campaign back in December. Of course, it was a 4-1 win for Gillingham. Robbie McKenzie, John Akindi, John Ogilvie again, and John Akindi again with a couple of goals. Ugan O'Connell, goodness gracious me, with the goal for Rochdale. Heading into this, Rochdale actually fed in the last 5 in League One. They come into this just 1 defeat the past 4, though. That 1 defeat was against Doncaster. The previous 3 were draws, and the previous 3 accumulated 10 goals scored and 10 goals conceded. On the flip side, 2 wins in the past 5 games for Gillingham. Of course, heading into this on the back of a win over Accrington. Look at the bookies' odds on this one then. What do we have? We have Gillingham at even. Stevens 5-2, which is draw. 35 is here. Of course, Rochdale coming into this in 18th. Win for them, they could actually go as high as 17th. Gillingham are in 13th. Win for them, they could actually go as high as 11th in the table. I've gone with another draw. Rochdale back to drawing ways. Gillingham also picking up a point. Ipswich Town up against Peterborough. This one's fruity. Of course, both teams looking at the top of the table as they try to get themselves up the table. They played each other in the past. How many times, according to Manbury? 14 times. 2 wins for Ipswich, 6 wins for Peterborough, and 6 draws. But the last 6, these 2 wins for Ipswich, 1 for Peterborough, and 3 draws. Last time out in Ipswich was back in the League One back in last year. Of course, 4-1 win for Peterborough. Goodness gracious me. Ivan Toney on the score sheet. Sammy Simadic as well. Sadiq Dembele on the score sheet for Peterborough. Heading into this, Peterborough actually undefeated in the last 5 matches in the division. They're coming into this just winning 3 on the spin. On the flip side, 2 defeats the past 6 games for Ipswich, winning 3 at the past 5 as well. Look at the situation out in the bookies on this one. Ipswich are actually 90-10 for the victory, 7-5 is your Peterborough, 9-4 is your draw. Peterborough coming into this in 4th, and for them they could go for Ipswich in 8th. They could go as high as 6th. That is correct. I've gone with a draw on this one again. Point split right down a minute and a 4-goal thriller. 2-2 in the end. Lincoln City will be taking on Northampton Town also this weekend. According to my knowledge, Lincoln, what's their record? I don't think they've been playing many games of late. But anyway, they played Northampton Town, according to my brain. 16 times plus, 4 wins for Lincoln, 5 for Northampton, and 7 bloody draws. But the last 6, see 3 for Lincoln, 2 for Northampton, and 1 draw. Last time out in Lincoln was a draw back in League 2, of course, back in February 2019. Bruno Andrade on the score, Adrian Pierre getting the goal for Northampton. Harry Anderson got himself sent off. Heading into this, they also played back in December, of course, in Northampton. It was a 4-0 win for Lincoln City. Anthony Scully, Ton Hooper, and Brendan Johnson with a couple of goals for himself. Heading into this, though, Northampton just 1 win in the past 5. Lincoln 3 wins in the past 4 games. So Lincoln, of course, red hot form at the moment. Look at the bookies. Also 120-11 on for Lincoln City. 3-1 is drawn. 90-4 is your Northampton. Northampton coming into this in 20th. A win for them. They could actually go as high as 17th. Lincoln are actually in 2nd spot at the moment. And a win for them. They could go outright. Pops, of course, level at the moment with Hull, of course, but a win for them and a defeat for Hull could see them go outright leaders. They've gone with Lincoln on this one, the 2-0 win in the end. Kicking on further, though, we have Oxford United up against Bristol Rovers. They played each other a bunch of times in the past, of course, heading into this. The record is been, goodness gracious me, 41 times in the past, 14 wins for Oxford, 17 wins for Bristol Rovers, and 10 draws. But the last 6 sees 2 for Oxford, 3 for Bristol Rovers, and 1 draw. Last time out in the Kazan was in the Papa John's Trophy. Earlier in the season was a 1-1 draw, and I think Oxford nicked it on pens. Last time they played each other in the league in the Kazan was back in 2018 in December. 2-0 win for Bristol Rovers. Alex Djukic on score sheet with a couple of goals for Bristol Rovers back in the day. Oxford actually won the last 4 matches in League One. They're scoring at least 2 goals in those last 4. Bristol Rovers actually can see at least 2 goals in the last 3 away. They come into this losing 4 on the spin. On the flip side, Oxford winning 5 on the spin in all competitions as well. Looking very, very good, of course. Oxford are actually nailed on for the victory. 11-8 for the victory. 11-4 is your draw. 7-2 is your Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers coming into this in 19th spot, but for them, they could actually go as high as 17th. Oxford are actually in 14th spot at the moment. Their form team in the division, of course, win for them. They could actually go as high as 11th in the table and maybe get their playoff race back on track. I've gone with Oxford on some of the comfortable 3-0 win over Bristol Rovers. Into a fruity one here. It is first place Hull up against 3rd place Portsmouth, of course, play each other other in the past. I'll tell you how many times in just 1 second. Of course, taking place on Saturday. They played each other in the past 50 times, 18 wins for Pompey, 12 wins for Hull, and 10 draws, of course. But the last 6, 4 for Portsmouth, 2 for Hull, no draws. Last time out in Pompey was in the Championship back in March 2012. Chris Maguire and Joe Ward on the score sheet as well. They played earlier in the campaign over in Hull. It was a 2-0 win for Pompey as well. Goal scorers Jacob Greaves with an own goal, and Josh McGuinness as well with another own goal. Portsmouth have actually kept clean sheet in the last 6 matches, and they're also undefeated in 27 of the last 30 matches at home. They come into this back-to-back wins for Pompey, beating Fleetwood and of course beating Wimbledon. Prior to that, back-to-back cup defeats. On the flip side, Hull unbeaten in the last 5 games in all competitions, and heading into this on the back of a win over Accrington Stanley. Look at the situation out in the bookies on this one. We have a 75 for Portsmouth, 25 is your draw, 15-8 is your Hull. A win for Portsmouth. In third, they could go
top of the box, oh yeah, top of the box.
With a big fat double, and also a big win for
Hull. Could go top of the box outright.
If to be victorious in the end. This was tight, and again, I'm going to go with a 3-2 win there for Pompey at Fratton Park. There'll be a goal scored on this one. Next up, we have, of course, Danny Graham up against, of course, the Star Man. Of course, heading into this one, they played each other, I'll tell you, a bunch of times, I'm pretty sure. It's been a while, though, hasn't it? Oh, not that long ago, just last season. Anyway, they played each other in the past 12 times. 8 wins for Sunderland, 1 win for Shrewsbury, and 3 draws. But the last 4, should I say, 2 for Sunderland, 1 for Shrewsbury, and 1 draw. Last time out at the Stadium was a draw. That was back in December 2018. Goal scorers on the day, Josh Major on the score sheet, Luke Waterfall as well. They played Sunderland actually failed to win the last 6 matches at home. Shrewsbury undefeated in the last 8. Goodness gracious me. Just 1 win in the past 3 though in all comps. On the flip side, just 1 defeat, that's 5 for Sunderland. That 1 defeat was against Plymouth the other day. Look at the bookies on this one. We have 11-8 for Sunderland, 11-4 is your draw, 7-2 is your Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury coming into this in 17th spot, but a win for them. They could close in on 16th. Sunderland in 9th. A win for them. They could actually go as high as 6th in the table. They'll get the win, 2-1 in the end. Maybe the Starman and Danny Graham on the score sheet, but I doubt it. And wrapping up, it'll be a northwest affair between Wigan and Tranmere, Wigan and Fleetwood. Of course, they played each other in the past. 6 times, 4 wins for Wigan, 1 win for Fleetwood, and 1 bloody draw. Last time out in Wigan was a 2-0 win for Wigan. That's back in League One in 2017. Of course, 2-0 win for Wigan. Nick Powell and Dan Burn on the score sheet. Of course, they played each other earlier in the campaign in Fleetwood. It was a draw back in December. Of course, it was a 1-1 draw at the end. Oliver Crankshaw for Wigan, Danny Andrew on the score sheet as well for Fleetwood. Fleetwood have actually failed to win the last 5 matches in League One, and it's been at least 3 defeats on a spin for them. On the flip side, unbeaten in the last 4, that is Wigan, of course, but winning just 1 out of those last 4 as well. Look at the bookies odds on this one. 12-5 for Wigan, 12-5 is your draw, 11-10 is your Fleetwood Town. Fleetwood Town come into this in 12th spot at the moment, but for them they could go 11th. Wigan actually in 22nd spot at the moment, but for them they could go 18th in the table. Oh yes, indeed. I've gone with on this one with a 2-1 win for Wigan to get themselves back in the winning ways and get them maybe out of the drop zone at this next attempt. Kicking on further, let's take a look at the table as it would look if I'm right. Lincoln City, of course, outright leaders, of course, over Portsmouth up to 2nd. Doncaster, Hull, Peterborough, and Charlton make up your top 6. Burton, Swindon, Wimbledon, Northampton Town going down. Wigan, biggest movers out of the drop zone there, up to 19th. Of course, Accrington making the push into 11th spot at the moment as it's getting very, very nitty gritty in the middle of the park. But that's what I think will happen out in Matchday, whatever it is, out in League One. Be sure to get your picks in nice and early for that. Of course, prediction leaders, Liga and Acting. Of course, we're not even at the halfway mark, so there's still plenty of time for you guys to make an impression on the leaderboard. But until then, though, be sure to give the video some love and smash that thumbs up, smash subscribe, of course. If you are new, check out the links down below: Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and all that stuff. And also, if you want to support the channel in another way, you could become the latest member of the Patreon gang by following that link down there, patreon.com/Roverseas. But until then, though, I'm out of here. I'll see you all in the